We have live pictures all over the place. This is actually part of a look at the U.S. Capitol, also the Blair House. President Trump-elect just left the Blair House on his way to have tea with Mr. Biden and the First Lady. That is what the very latest is happening right now for the swearing in at noon today. We'll be watching it closely. Joining us right now, a little history lesson talking about why this inauguration day is so historic and more. Associate Professor of Political Science at the University of Indianapolis, Laura Merrifield-Wilson. We always love to have you on because you know so much. And looking back at history, we've been talking about it all morning. A lot of history being made again, or a lot of things that are about this that are unique. Yeah. Let's start with just today being MLK Jr. Day.
Yeah.
And then also an inauguration. Doesn't happen very often.
Well, it doesn't happen very often. And I think when you consider the fact that this is Trump's second inauguration, but it's not the next one in line, you know, there's a period in between. We're also talking about the cold weather, and you had Reagan's second inauguration, which was moved indoors. There's a lot of unique elements to this inauguration that I think set up for what might be an interesting term as president. We've had one term as President Trump, but this is certainly going to be different in many ways.
Yeah, so and then when you kind of think of how you've watched inaugurations in the past years, and you watch a parade, or you think about everything that's going to happen outside, and then you think, well, how's that all going to look inside? And what do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I think in a way it's a little sad because that is the tradition in the pomp and circumstance. You do that parade down Pennsylvania. They'll have it in Capital One Arena. It'll be different, obviously. But I also think for Donald Trump, since he had the traditional ceremony, this is his second administration. This is a new 4 years. This will be a new Congress that he's working with and a new Supreme Court. So in a way, I feel like it actually sets it up very nicely, even though it's not what we typically see on Inauguration Day.
Let's talk about what you would typically see. Maybe people think about what they hear oftentimes from President-elect Trump, especially when he's stumping and he has a certain bravado. Yeah. What do you think about the inaugural address today and the importance of it, and do you think it will be a lot different?
I imagine his inaugural address will be different than what we saw in Biden, maybe even his first, Obama certainly. Typically those inaugural addresses are introducing people to the idea of unity, the theme of what they can expect in your administration, but really focused on bringing the country together. And that hasn't always been a theme that Donald Trump has relied on. He's been much more focused on his narrative. I would expect we hear policy. I bet we hear immigration, we hear something about economy, maybe, quite frankly, even TikTok, because that's a big thing in the last couple of days.
He brought it up last night saying, hey, do you like it or do you not? What do you want me to do?
Yeah, and this feels much more, because of the circumstances, like a Donald Trump campaign rally than necessarily the inauguration. But that's one of the things that's interesting with Donald Trump as president candidate. He has been unpredictable, so it's quite possible he could do a traditional inaugural address, because that's not exactly what we're predicting from him.
We have about 30 seconds left. Let's talk about right after he then becomes president. He has hinted that he has some 200 executive orders. That's not normal, or is it kind of
That would be a lot. That would be a lot for if he's going to roll those out right away. That'd be very high.
Yeah, and President Biden had many.
He did,
but not 200.
No, and part of it's the timeline too, right? You're in a term for 4 years, so typically you would do things piecemeal. President Trump does have unified government, so he can work with Congress on legislation. There might be some policies, though, he just doesn't want to pursue that route.
Okay, stick with us all morning long. Starting at 11 after ending now, you'll be able to watch the entire inauguration ceremony live, including, again, all of the events that follow. Love to see you. So good. And again, it is likely because of the cold weather that a lot of things are inside today. Jim?
Definitely high there in D.C. I think at about 22. Wind chills are in the single digits in the nation's capital right now.